The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan, joined now here at ACC Tip-Off in Charlotte by the head coach of Georgia Tech, Damon Stoudamire. Coach, first of all, thank you for stopping by. Not only are you the head coach of Georgia Tech, you're also Arizona Wildcats legend Damon Stoudamire. Is it cool seeing old Pac-12 opponents or Pac-10 opponents here, Stanford and Cal, mixing it up in the ACC?
Man, it's kind of weird, to be honest.
I'm glad it's weird for you like us.
It's weird, and I was talking to Kyle Smith upstairs, and we were talking about some of our old WCC battles. But it's weird, to see Stanford and Cal at ACC Media Day. But it's a sign of the times, and money drives a lot of things nowadays. Let's just call it what it is.
Money, exactly. Money drives a ton. Kind of the next step in your playing career as a pro, I always think of you with the Trailblazers. Those teams are where like my mind goes for Damon Stoudamire, the Rasheed Wallaces, Pippen, Bonzi. Those teams were tough as heck, right? And physical and everything else. You brought up money drives everything. College kids have name, image, and likeness. They have the cars. They have a little bit of money in their pocket. They if you coach them too hard, maybe there's a transfer. Is soft is a word that I think a lot of your generation throws at the younger generation. Is it tough enough for these kids?
I think that each person is built different. Each kid is built different. You still have some that want to be coached hard. Yeah, you're going to always have somebody that's going to challenge you. I would say this for me, I'm not compromising. Like, I don't really care. So, my thing is that I'm going to try to squeeze everything I can out of you, try to help you be a good player. Because if you're content with doing this, like, man, it's I always say this. I can't continue to be thankful enough for what that basketball has done for me and my family. The places that it's taken me, the money that I was able to make, the people that I came into contact, and where I'm at right now. And if you're not going to take this serious based on some of the stuff that's going on right now, I would never say it's easier to make it, because I don't think it's easier to make it. I actually think it's harder to make it. But what I say is that there's a lack of attention to detail to making it. And that means putting in the work. Because people forgetting that you got to put in work to get there. They try to skip steps. And so they make a mixtape, or they make this highlight tape, and they want people to focus on 2 minutes, when I want to focus on what they look like in practice. I want to focus on a body of work that I see. I need to know a kid. I need to know who that kid is, at his best and at his worst, because I need to know what that looks like. So I just think that, like, that basketball can change your life if you do it the right way. So why wouldn't you just do it the right way? Why wouldn't you want to be coached? Why wouldn't you want to be motivated? Why wouldn't you want to be told the truth? The real ones still want that.
Damon Stoudamire, Georgia Tech head basketball coach. That's the voice you hear. Do you ever get pushback on that? Like the horror stories are, the college coaches getting a call from mom or dad on, oh, why are you treating my son that way? Obviously you have the bona fides to back it up. You've seen the hard work pay off for guys and yourself, but do you ever get maybe the next generation who maybe doesn't know who you were when you were a player and pushes back a little bit?
Well, first thing I never do is I never even talk about what I did unless they bring it up. But
that's good self-control right there, because there'd be a few times I'd be like, you got to know what you're working with. You got to.
But what I realize again is that, if you're doing it the right way, there's still people that want to be coached, and there's always going to be people that don't like it and might want to leave anyway. And I'm all right with that. Most of the people that have left, that I've coached, just in general, because I've been in other places as well. and I'm not looking to get this, but it's happened. I've had some of those same players call me and be like, "Man, Coach Fowler just listened to you. You was telling," because sometimes you need to go hear something else to know that you were being told the truth. Because a lot of times, even as adults, sometimes we run from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to hear the truth.
For sure.
So imagine an 18, 19, 20-year-old kid. They don't always want to hear the truth. So it isn't easy with everything that's going on now. And you really gotta be vested into nurturing the relationships. You can get past the things that'll allow you to coach a kid.
Well, along those lines, I was looking at your roster today. Outside of Lance Terry, who was actually hurt for a decent amount of time last year, I think most of the contributing rosters, the guys we expect to be playing a lot for you this year, are completely turned over from the time that you took over the program. Does it feel like you have a program full of Damon Stoudamire hand-picked players now that's ready to build in that image?
Well, what I would say is we have a team of guys that just want to be there. I think that's the biggest thing. I think any coach will tell you it doesn't matter, if you took over that. If you want to be there, you're gonna make it work. You're gonna work your butt off. You're gonna pay attention to detail. You're gonna allow yourself to be pushed. You're gonna be vulnerable in the environment to work on your weaknesses and not just your strengths. So, I think that I have guys that just want to be there. And that's the most important thing. That's where you start.
Looking at your schedule from last year, the highs were really, really high.
Yeah.
Getting Duke when they were 7th ranked,
Yeah.
Mississippi State, who was top 25, UNC when they were 3rd. You won all of those games. Then there were some stretches where the wins were a little bit harder to come by. How do you keep the highs with maybe mitigating some of those lows?
You know what? It's like I say, we were consistently inconsistent. We showed a lot of flashes of brilliance, but the crazy thing about it is it's just the mentality. We have to be able to recover faster. When we take a hit, we got to be able to recover. We got to be able to slow that hit. We got to beat things down, and I think that's where we got to get better mentally.
We're getting the kind of wrap it up sign, but I do want to say, pass along our thoughts to Ryan Mutombo.
Yeah.
Obviously his father, legend in multiple levels of basketball, Dikembe Mutombo, just passed away. What do you learn about your program when somebody faces a situation that tough with Dikembe being just 58 years old and Ryan being one of his sons?
Well, you learn a lot. I would say this: Ryan is a special kid. Like in the time I've been around Ryan, like he's a pleaser. He's a gentle giant. He's very smart. He's articulate. He knows a lot. And, the guys have rallied around him. Today, we found out, obviously, a bunch of the guys, Ryan wasn't at practice that day, obviously, but a lot of guys, were sad and, reaching out to him. And, that's big. But I just think that like everybody in the program has tried to rally around Ryan and just be there for support.
I know you said you don't like to talk about your accolades. Did it give you a chance to let everybody know who Ryan's dad was in the post and blocking shots?
Yeah, I haven't said that. I don't know. I really, that's a good question. I don't know if they actually know how good Dikembe was. I played against Dikembe for years and years and years, and when he cut his teeth in Denver, man, you could barely see the rim. Dikembe and Irvin Johnson and Antonio McDyess. They had some really big teams. LaFonso Ellis, Brian Still, they're really big. So, he was amazing. He was even a better man off the floor than he was a basketball player. So the philanthropist efforts that he made and, the contributions that he made not only in his hometown of Congo, but just in the United States. I mean, there hasn't been too many athletes like him.
Coach, we appreciate you for stopping by the show and good luck this season.
All right, thank you.